ladies and gentlemen, Nez Porter. I'm here at Marcella and Thornton Street right there. Just want to give you one of many things that take place in the city. So, as you see, most of these properties, they have space between them, between house and house. At least some sort of space. This one has a driveway, so there's plenty of space between there. That one has plenty of space, has a driveway. This one has a driveway, which is plenty of space in between houses. Over there, there's enough space to put a second house if you really wanted to. So for the most part, these houses that are on Marcella Street, they have spaces between them that allow you an egress or access to your property. Even over there, same thing, has plenty of space. So even here, plenty of space. Not an issue. When you get even here, there's plenty of space. Have to build another archery house over here. More space. Good morning. Now, when you get here, this is the concern. There's no this wall is actually on this young lady's property here, and it's like 30 inches on her property, and they did that so they can make the driveway that they should have on the side. They made it over here, made this wider, and so she's suffering 30 inches because they want to make this area wider over here. Now, if you come to the other side, you'll see that they gave themselves an egress on their side of their property. So they have an egress. So this wall goes from here to there, giving them an egress between the fence right there. So if you can see that, they have about 30 inches of egress on the side of that property right there. But when you get back to the property over here, the city of Boston allowed them to build onto somebody else's property. I'm trying to figure out why. Now, rumor has it that I think his name is Leo. I could be wrong. Leo from the building department allowed this to happen from ISD. I have to look up his name. I think his name was might have been Cook. I'm not sure. I have to do some checking. See that pole back there? A little stick in the middle? That's where the property line is supposed to be. So that's a little stick right there is where the property line is supposed to be. And if you doubt what I'm saying, is how is the eave and the overhang over this wall? Like, it shouldn't be. Like, it should not be. So we're at 25 Marcella Street, where the owners of 27A have kind of took over her property without her consent. Now, from what I understand, the city of Boston is aware of it, so we can give them a courtesy call and ask him again, because I think Ed Colburn, he's well aware of it. He's pretty much part of it. You know what I mean? He's part of that whole network where him, Bill Salzberg, there's a few others out there that do that. They take people's land away from them without their consent, and they kind of do it in a kind of skillful, conniving way, like pretending they're your friend when they're really not. So we can actually give City Hall ISD a call. See what they say. See if we can get their number, 617-635-5300. Let's see what they have to say. See if anybody has to respond to that.
National Services Department. Please listen carefully as our menu options have changed.
So,
for rental registration, short-term rental, or to place a housing complaint, press 1. For all other calls, please remain on the line to speak to the next available agent.
let's take a look at the other buildings. These other buildings, they all have space in between them. See, they all have pretty enough adequate space.
Thank you for calling the City of Boston Inspectional Services Department. Please listen carefully as our menu
They all
options
have
changed.
adequate space.
For rental registration, short-term rental, or to place a housing complaint, press 1. For all other calls, please remain on the line to speak to the next available agent.
See how they all have space in between them?
Thank you for calling. Please remain on the line for the next available representative.
See that? Plenty of space between all. Yes, can I have the commissioner's office?
Give me 1 second.
Sure.
Sorry, Colette is not available. Record your message at the tone. When you're finished, hang up or press pound for more options.
Hi, this is Mr. Porter calling. I'm calling in regards of 25 Marcella Street and the property which is overbuilt by another property. You can give me a call back at 617-710-1928. Thanks. Right. So I don't expect them to call me back. They don't return calls anyway. So I left my number just to say that I left the number. But they don't return calls at all. So I spoke to Dion Iris and personally, so he's aware of it. He refused to meet with me on camera naturally because he didn't want to be accountable for what I told him. But nevertheless, I'm telling you, I met with him on camera. And matter of fact, you could probably see that video where I went down there. I discussed multiple things with him. About a half an hour conversation. So he says he did not have the conversation, then he's a liar because he should have had it on camera, but he can document it. But that's how politics work. They do stuff behind closed doors with no accountability. So I'm putting him on notice the second time that this property been here for about 4 years now. And they have built onto somebody else's property with the approval of the City of Boston, and they only did that to make this area bigger because the specs that they had did not allow them to to build it the proper way. So somebody's cheating somebody out of something. Now she should have some kind of means of accessing the side of her property. As you can see, that's where they poured the concrete new. That's where they damaged her fence and her walkway. And you can see they build a wall next to her wall. This is where they closed the curb cut. There was a curb cut here. They closed that. And this is where they extended the wall about 30 inches onto her property. So if you look at her property, it's like literally touching almost right where the downspout is. Right there. So if you go vertically up, like, there's no way that overhang should be over this wall right here. I mean, if you can see that little red tag in the back down there, that's where the line's supposed to be at, right there. Right there. Right in the middle. So, and so that would mean that this whole property would have to get pushed 30 inches back that way, which they're not going to do. So that's another thing that goes on in the city of Boston on a daily basis. And ISD is aware of it. Ed Colburn is definitely aware of it. Matter of fact, I wouldn't doubt if he's the one who goes sending people out there to go ahead and do that kind of stuff. Because every time you talk to him, he's got like this little smirk on his face, like there's something funny, which is not. Until next time, guys, I figure I want to report this information back to the people out there. If anybody knows anybody who could help that young lady out, send me the information and I'll relay it to her. Until next time, guys, Nez Porter.